Where's where's Peter?
Walking the dog, I guess.
Yeah, he just up and left.
Usual argument for not showing up.
Helping jump his neighbor's car.
Did Pete think we're done? I mean,
I feel like he slid in for a second, right? And then
he wanted everybody to be here early.
left.
I know. Now we're gonna go fucking late.
Which is cool. We lose an hour, so that's helpful.
Should we just start and then see? What do you got?
Oh shit! See, dude, he looks so bad. He looks like a giant Agent Smith.
His mouth is all fucking crooked and shit.
Is that from is that from Conan?
Oh man,
when he's interviewing the celebrities.
It's like when that movie started, I just felt like fucking Don Corleone, like, look what they've done to my boy. Like,
yeah. That's so bad.
Glad you could join us, Pete.
Hey, thanks.
Welcome to the All Pop No Culture podcast. I'm your host this week, Opie, and I'm joined as always by Kevin.
Hey.
Alex.
Howdy.
Peter.
Good evening.
And David.
Hello, Peter.
If you have never listened to this show before, we are a pop culture centered podcast talking about television and movies as it pertains to pop culture. And each week we will sometimes be reviewing movies from a franchise that we are currently engaged in by the spin of a wheel. So this week you will be hearing some updates from me for the Hunger Games. For David, he's got the Expendables. Alex is making his way through the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Pete, did you watched the first of your Predator series?
I did.
And Kevin, doing Final Destination, did not watch anything further. So last week he reviewed the first film, but he has nothing to offer this week on that, which is fine, because I think the majority of our conversation this week will be probably about Coming to America, the sequel to Coming to America. And then also anything that we watched this week that is worth watching. And so I think Kevin, you watched the least amount out of anything, I think, this week. I think you or David might be up for grabs for the least amount watched. But what did you watch this week?
The primary thing we've watched this week around our house, we started watching Big Bang Theory with the kids. We're about halfway through the first season, I think. We just watch 1 or 2 episodes a night. And
have you seen that? Like, have you watched the entire series?
I have not watched the entire series. The one thing that I do know about the series is that, in general, at least for a while, it kind of kept the steam it had by introducing some new characters as it went along. And so it didn't get stale too quickly. It brings in Wolowitz's girlfriend, and then it brings in Sheldon's girlfriend, played by Mayim Bialik later. And so I know there's a lot of differing opinions on that show. I always liked it enough. I don't think it's like the greatest sitcom ever, but it's good. It's fun. Some of the jokes definitely go over my kid's head, and there's way more sex talk than I expected there to be. Like, it's very like my kids get a little embarrassed.
He fills that quota.
But they all do. Like, they all do.
Well, I know,
even Sheldon,
he's worse.
Yeah, for sure. He's just gross. So like, he's but it's kind of fun to watch my kids like squirm a little. They're like, and I'm like, and then I finished Orphan Black finally.
Okay.
That was 5 seasons. It had a decent ending. It definitely was a show that could have been benefited from a shorter run. Sometimes those shows, especially science fiction shows, I think, tend
Five
to.
is 5 seasons, and you think it should have been shorter?
Yeah, it's 5 10-episode seasons, but the problem is that I think a show like that has a plan for the first season and maybe some ideas for further seasons. But the longer they go and the more money they make or are offered to continue to make their show, either they introduce plot points that don't really matter, or they will introduce something and then decide not to do it for some reason in the following season. So plot points just get dropped. And so I think shows like that need to have a plan from day one and should have a specific number of episodes ready to go, and that should be it. Because you can just tell where they were kind of spinning their wheels, and especially when you have a show that's about a conspiracy, like if it doesn't have an intended course, they just keep recreating the conspiracy in some new and weird way, and it doesn't really work real great. So there's in the middle seasons, it kind of loses a little bit of its luster. The first season's great, the last season's pretty solid, and there's some really great characters in there. And I stand by that she is amazing on that show. Tatiana Maslany, the girl that plays like 6 different characters, it's really impressive because you see them as very different. Like, so you can forget that the same actress is playing these characters. So it's pretty impressive in that way.
She's really good on Perry Mason.
Oh, is she in that?
Yeah.
I'm excited. Really like this really made me excited for She-Hulk when that comes out on Marvel. She's playing Jennifer Walters. And then I swear there was something else I watched besides Coming to America. I've been still watching Lois and Clark when it comes out on CW, and it's still pretty solid. I would still
Superman
stand by
and Lois.
Is that what did I say?
Lois and Clark.
Oh shit!
With Dean Cain.
For a second there, seriously, when you're saying that, he's like, it's still pretty good. I'm like, what the fuck? Did we talk about this?
Yeah. No, that one was fine in its time, but it is not good now. But no, this one's still really good. Like the drama's there. It's well written. It's well acted.
What's the first season?
Yeah. I can see there are things that are already starting to worry me a little bit where, when you have a show that has, a superhero twist, you start adding in just changing bad guys or adding in bad guys and stuff like that. And the problem with this show is it hasn't really leaned on the bad guy thing. So to just start introducing bad guys worries me a little bit. It's because it's kind of out of the scope of the story that they started to tell. So I'm curious to see how that goes.
Don't worry. They got this.
No, they will most assuredly screw it up in season 2.
Don't
but
worry.
Season 1 is really
they
good
got
so far.
This. It already got picked up for a second season, didn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It got picked up for a second season after the first episode.
No problem. That's all they need.
Yep.
Just a little more space.
Yeah. So we shall see. But so far, I would definitely recommend it to anybody that's a Superman fan. It's
how many episodes are you in?
3. And I don't know how many they're going to get.
He's like, there's a couple things that are starting to worry me.
That's how I felt about Gotham. I think I even mentioned it. It's like, it's a good show, but I can see where they might start going off the rails.
The writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
But it always is for these shows. They just, I mean, even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you could see the first season was pretty good. And they got a little off the rails later on. So
yeah, I can see you like episode 6, you're like, something happened.
Yeah. But I think as long as they keep the core of the show, I think it'll be solid for the first season. After that, it's all up in the air. But I think the first season's going to be pretty good.
Okie doke. Well, let's see. David.
I guess I can talk for a second. Yeah. Well, we started watching Ted Lasso again, which I'm sure we've discussed on the show at some point. It's a great show. So
yeah, we should probably rewatch that too.
Yeah, my daughter hadn't seen it yet, and so she's been quite enjoying it. And then continuing our Marvel rewatch, we watched Winter Soldier, which I always remember and rank amongst the top echelon.
Oh yeah,
rewatching it, it's a good movie.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed the hell out of watching it again. I didn't remember, I remembered the huge over points, but there were a lot of little detail stuff that I'd forgotten that was fun to revisit. So
yeah,
enjoying that watch through, and that's pretty much it. Yeah,
that and your Expendables.
Yeah, the Expendables. Yeah, other than that, girls lacrosse has consumed all of my spare time.
He doesn't have kids. He just really enjoys girls lacrosse.
Yeah, that's right.
I was gonna say I didn't think they would let you play in that league. That's interesting.
Yeah.
He's all school's back in
session,
so that's right.
Girls lacrosse is back in session, so I never miss a practice.
He's got the fucking popcorn.
It's like yeah. So
we'll leave out coach, he's back. He's back.
Let's leave out the part that he's an assistant coach. So all right. Well then, Alex, how about you? Is there anything you can recall that wasn't erased by the viewing of Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare?
I don't even recognize you guys anymore. That's how much that movie fucked up my brain. No, yeah, I watched a couple things this week. Nothing significant, but I did like a very casual rewatch of Scott Pilgrim, meaning it was on and I was kind of watching it from time to time. It's one of those movies that I just throw on sometimes, almost as background noise, because at any point I can look at the screen and be entertained for a few minutes because it's just an entertaining movie. So I had that on. I can't remember what I was doing, but it was on kind of in the background while I was doing something. And then I've just been continuing Dark Matter. We're in season 3, so we're in the home stretch because there's only 3 seasons. And I feel about the same. I like it well enough. I'm going to keep going because at this point we're so close that I just feel like I should finish it. I don't know. It's wearing on me a little bit. I feel like similar to how Kevin described Orphan Black, I feel like some of the ideas that are popping up in the later seasons, I'm like, okay, like it's getting a little weird, but it's not bad. It's a pretty decent sci-fi show, and the characters and the plot points for the most part are entertaining. Executions, you win some and you lose some, but we'll finish it up, and then I'll text Kevin and he'll tell me what was going to happen, since they canceled it. But that's about it.
Did you get to the time loop episode?
Kevin, right, going down this road again.
They have definitely
jumped. Keep it tight, gentlemen.
They've jumped through time a couple of times. There was the one where they were in like the mirror universe where there was the other Raza, and then there was the one where they jumped the research station and it got stuck in like a pocket of void space, and they had to like get back out of that. So I've seen those two, but I think that's it as far as like time jumpy episodes. But
no, the time loop is one of my favorites.
Is that season 3?
I can't remember. I have to look, but I think so.
Because we're only a few episodes into season 3, and like I said, we'll just finish it up and then it'll be over.
How many episodes
that was
season again?
About 13-ish, just on 13. Average.
Okay.
It's not hard to get through.
I know I got about a season and a half into it, and then I think we stopped watching it because something else took over, and then we never went back, kind of thing. But now I don't remember, like, as you guys talk, I was like, I remember some of the little detail points, but I'd have to start from the beginning again.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit going on, so I definitely would recommend that because, yeah.
It definitely changes from season to season.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has some major story beats that are like significant in each season. Ultimately, it's them flying around on their ship doing shit, but there's always like some major points in each season. It's like in this one they're in prison, and in this one they're jumping through time, and in this one, it's all this other kind of stuff. So
yeah.
But yeah, I like it well enough. Android is still fucking amazing. Every scene that she is in is just, she steals the show so much. It's just like, can I just have a show for her and I'll just watch that because it's so good.
Yeah, she's pretty great.
She's so amazing. Anyways, that's really it. I can't think of anything else besides the abomination you made me watch because this fucking wheel.
We didn't make you watch anything.
You put it on there. You absolutely made me do this. It was your fault.
What the, it's like, Kevin, with your screen blurry, I was like, what the fuck is behind you? Because it looks like at first it looked like something was trying to fuck the couch. Or
There's a fucking poltergeist in your house.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's just my cat. She's weird.
Okay. All right. Peter, did you watch anything?
Peter Man.
The only thing I really watched of note outside of Coming to America 2 was I did pony up for Raya the Last Dragon on Disney Plus. Raya and the Last Dragon. It was good.
I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not outstanding. There's a lot of really cool, fun stuff in it. It's interesting. It's like kind of a blanket Southeast Asia. Like
that's how they do it. I mean, that's Aladdin is a blanket Middle East, and
yeah,
that's how they do it to stay as neutral as possible.
Yeah, but you could kind of pick out like with the little different warring tribes, like kind of what the like where the influence was. Like, oh, this is more a Vietnamese feel, and this is kind of Malaysian. It's a fun movie. The kids enjoyed it. Spoilers?
No. I'm gonna watch it.
I don't care.
Not for money.
Not
okay.
for money.
What? Then we'll wait until it's in a couple of months till it's free and everybody can watch it.
Well,
then we'll actually talk
I think
about
it's probably worth the $5 per for my family. So
yeah. That's why I did it, because it would have been one that we would have seen because the kids were both excited about it. The previews were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Awkwafina is great in this. She's like really good at everything she does.
Kelly Marie Tran is the
she's really
the
good
main
too.
person. Yeah.
No, it's no, I won't give away any plot points. Yeah, so I watched that.
I saw a post online. I don't think it's a spoiler or anything, but somebody compared the story somehow to The Last of Us 2. So that actually made me really curious to want to see it and see how that
what does
lines
that
up.
mean?
I don't know. I can't imagine it's a revenge
the
story,
is
it?
To The Last of Us?
Last of Us Part 2.
There's
What's that?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
Now he's just trolling you.
He has always been.
Yeah. He doesn't understand quality, so it's his own problem.
You lost me. So all right. Is there anything to say about it that you can't give the plot point away?
Well, I mean, you get, just from what you see in the trailer, you get the idea that it becomes kind of a, something happens to whatever the guy she's fighting is guarding, and she's now in some wasteland, all grown up at that point. And it's,
what?
Yeah, no, there's really nothing I can say without giving stuff away. Exactly. I can't. There's
Thank
crystal
God,
clear
Alex.
now.
I was like, okay, seriously, am I going crazy?
No, you're not. There's nothing I can give away to really tell you what I enjoyed about it without giving away like major plot points. And if you're gonna wait to watch it, then I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, I do want to see it.
It is fun. It's like enjoyably fun. It's probably one of the better ones to come out of like the Disney hub in a while.
Disney's actually really good at like some of their stuff I'd say is better than some of the newer Pixar stuff. Like when they bounce back and forth.
Like Frozen and Frozen 2.
Not those ones, but Big Hero 6 and Tangled and
Tangled for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of Big Hero 6, have you heard the rumor that they're going to have some Big Hero 6 characters in the MCU?
I have heard that, and that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that.
It's supposed to be Baymax and Hero.
As I say, it'll probably just be Baymax. That's easy. It's just CGI him in.
Yeah.
But cool. That'd be, imagine him just punching Thanos in the face or something. And then healing him afterward.
Yeah. Just give him a hug.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Opie, did you watch anything fun?
Did I?
Did you ever?
Did I ever see? So I saw Coming to America, and I don't know if I mentioned before that me and the wife are watching The Great on Hulu with was it Thomas Holt? No, Nicholas Holt. And,
I don't know if I know what that show's
I
about.
don't know what it's about.
It's about Peter the Great, who was a king or emperor of Russia. His son, who's also his name is Peter. Now he's the emperor, and he marries Elle Fanning. She becomes Victoria the Great or something like that.
Okay.
So it's a comedy.
Everybody's great.
Yeah, it's great. It's a comedy. It's like kind of like a darker, subtle comedy. But Nicholas Holt was nominated for his role, so we're trying to catch up to see why he was nominated. But
Gotcha.
Started watching that, and then
Is it great?
it's I like it. It's I don't know. It's good enough, I guess, as Alex would put it. It's good enough to keep watching.
Enough.
Yeah.
So not even living up to its title.
Well, no, it has some funny parts, but we also started watching was Mr. Mayor with Ted Danson.
Oh, is
I
that
have
any good?
not heard good things.
Really? I think it's
No.
actually pretty funny. I think as far as those type of sitcoms, if you like Ted Danson the way he acts, but Bobby Moynihan on there is pretty funny. He reminds me of Sam Richardson's character on Veep. He played the black the
Richard.
publicist Richard. Yeah, I played Richard. Yeah. He similar type of character, but I don't know. I thought it's pretty funny so far. We're up to a few episodes. So
Okay.
and then finished up Letterkenny, and that's about it.
Pitter patter.
Pitter pat. Well, then let's our franchises, and since me and
You want to do that first, or Coming to America?
Oh, I guess sure. Why don't we do Coming to America first? Since I feel actually it's pretty funny. Pete and Kevin are on either sides of me on my screen, and I feel like you both have you both have definitely stronger opinions about this movie than I do. I'm curious to see if you guys share the same opinion, or if or what. So between the two of you, one of you guys go first, since David and Alex did not see this movie.
Not yet.
Oh, spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure based on what I saw on the trailer that I have a fairly solid understanding of what's going to happen in this film. I think that's a fair assessment to a point. To a point.
I'll let Pete go first, and maybe I'll just interject here and there. We'll see what.
We're definitely going to interject.
I actually was very disappointed with this movie. I feel incredibly let down. I knew I was going to when I saw it was PG-13, and I saw the trailer, and it was oh God, where to start? Oh, the beginning. The stuff in Zamunda was just fucking ridiculous.
You mean the entire movie, because they came to America for 30 minutes, maybe total?
Yeah.
Not 30 minutes of screen time, just 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They landed in the airport and they're like, wait, what? And then they took off again.
I can't. I just no. Yeah. This was just bad. Like there were points that I liked just for nostalgia's sake when certain characters showed up and
like everybody pretty much.
Yeah, like that was the only good thing about the fucking movie, is that they got everybody from the original movie to show up.
Oh, plus Wesley Snipes. Woohoo!
Well, that's always a good time.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes.
Snipester.
You know what? Like, I didn't like his character, but he was fun as that character. Like he was okay. The character was stupid. The whole point of the fucking character was stupid. But but I didn't hate him as the character, like because it was so ridiculous. Like he played the ridiculous well.
I felt like he was auditioning for the black recasting of Face Off. Like
I feel like
Nicolas
Henry
Cage
Cavill's
role,
watching it right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the face that I had through most of it.
Yeah, I mean, this was yeah, just all around, just really disappointed. Eddie Murphy was just like,
I felt like everybody in the movie just phoned it in.
yeah,
Oh,
Like
that's
the-
too bad.
like it
the
was
kid
like,
that, the kid that played his son did
Okay,
okay,
yeah.
but
I
the
liked he
character was
to me.
stupid.
The character was stupid, but he to me was actually the one bright point that ran throughout the movie. Like actually like I liked him.
He's probably going, "This is my break, man. I'm fucking putting my all into it."
He's
Yeah,
been around
no.
a little bit.
Oh, has
but,
he? I don't know.
Yeah,
who's
he's
the
done
son.
he's done a few little things. I forget, but I mean, Leslie Jones was,
Pointless. A rapist. That was neat.
yeah, like
Like the plot centers around a rape story. That's pretty neat. she gets him
Yeah.
high and has sex with him while he's in, supposedly during the first movie. So they take away some of that, like the specialness of the first movie, right? Like the whole point
well, yeah,
of the
what
first movie
they
that he was, yeah.
the flashback for that is when they're at the bar where they meet the hip hop twins
Mhm.
who
Yeah,
come back.
Oh, they brought back the hip hop twins, huh?
Oh,
They
yeah,
got everyone.
They brought back like
Yeah.
everybody you could think of. They brought back.
Yeah.
Uh,
So they do a Simi now walks up to the bar and meets Leslie Jones and her friend, and Simi goes and does the friend, and they do it as it's going. It's playing. You know, you're seeing what's going on, and Eddie Murphy is relaying it as this weird hallucination he had about, I think, like a water buffalo or a fucking baboon or something. Like I started to block it out because it felt like somebody said, "Hey, here's like Eddie's routine from Raw, 2021. Let's take this little piece here and we'll, film something over it while he's talking." Like it almost seemed like a Comedy Central kind of show that they would have put together for something like that. And it
Kevin?
yeah, I mean, the gist of it is there really wasn't anything good about this movie. like they took something that was a good movie. I mean, I just watched it like 2 weeks ago, really enjoyed it again. Like it held up just fine. And the funny thing is that the only like part of that movie that I watched and I was like, oh, that could have been better, was like the painting of Zamunda in the beginning, like, right? So it was a mural.
This time that looks good.
Well, this time everything, but it's the same thing. Everything in Zamunda looks like shit. Like everything is ridiculous. There's CGI for all of the animals. Like I know you have to be careful with like animals or whatever, but like when the elephant walked through and it was a CGI elephant, I'm like, you couldn't just like find somebody that's like kind to elephants and get an actual fucking elephant.
Yeah.
Like I was like, it's just,
you couldn't get stock footage of an elephant and then just CG
dude.
that in?
Dude, it was just like they spent money in all the wrong places. Like every scene was over the top. Every scene was too big and it wasn't interesting. The little romance story that they threw in there, which is just like in your face and super predictable, like right away. I actually, I did like his daughters too, or at least the older one, but she was a little, she was a little dry, but I liked her. But yeah, I mean, fuck. Like they took his wife, right? The girl that he is meeting through the whole first movie. And she's
daughter.
Yeah, like
which one she was.
She's like sweet and likable in that movie. and this one she just gets drunk and stupid. Like they ruined her. Like like there's just that there was no real service to any of the characters or anything. It was just a pointless movie to make. Like there already wasn't much of a point to making it anyways, but I mean they just really just did not. I feel like they didn't honor the first movie at all.
So there are some moments like the one I know you hated it, but like when Leslie Jones and her were drunk and like rapping together, that was like nostalgically funny for me when they were doing the Humpty dance. Like that was funny because I love that song. They brought me back to junior high and this movie, so I enjoyed like that. But I could already tell with that, like you can rewatch the first one a bunch of times and enjoy it. But this one has no rewatchability at all.
No, I would never watch
all the jokes. All the jokes died. Like it was like, okay, that was kind of funny for a moment, but I'm not gonna like that again tomorrow.
So likely, all of the jokes that I saw in the trailer, they're not gonna land again. They've all been wasted by my having watched the trailer.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. If you saw something good in the trailer, hold on to that. Just don't bother with the movie. Just hold on to whatever you saw that was entertaining.
Oh no!
The reason we haven't watched it yet is our friends that we watched the first one with a couple weeks back liked the first one so much, having seen it for the first time, that they wanted to see the second one. So now I don't necessarily want to suggest that we watch it together.
Yeah.
No, what you know what? Watch it with them, and I'm curious to see if somebody who had never seen the first one until right now likes this one at all, because if I feel like
there'll be no nostalgia.
That's true. That's true.
You know,
then prepare for that review in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I can't picture you coming back and saying, "Oh, it wasn't as bad as you guys said it was."
Yeah.
Like I really expect you to like. I'm curious though. Opie, you watched it. What was your takeaway?
That was all right. I didn't think it was bad. You guys all make solid points, and like I can definitely see it through that lens. I thought Leslie Jones was funny for the most part. I could see how her character though could be seen as very like over the top and ridiculous and something I would normally be annoyed by, but for whatever reason I thought for the most part her character was pretty funny and consistent. Tracy Morgan's character was okay but not needed.
I liked him too.
It was,
his plays were some of the best moments. Like any scene he was in, he stole. I'll give Tracy that. Like if he was in a scene, he was the best thing in that scene. For me,
I would say he was probably, besides maybe Leslie Jones, was probably one of the funniest people in the movie.
Yeah.
Most of the time I didn't find Eddie Murphy that funny.
It was like a weird caricature of like.
It was like they took the original movie and let Eddie Murphy do one of his Disney movies out of it. You know what I mean? Like a Nutty Professor version of
Mansion.
The funny thing was that afterwards I was like, was I just tired and being an asshole? Like, did this movie really suck? And so I went to IMDb to look at the reviews. There is a fucking shit ton of 1-star reviews in IMDb. Like,
so there also was for I Care a Lot. But look what happened.
Yeah, they were also correct.
I don't because see, we just watched this I think yesterday, and
that's when I watched it,
and I don't remember hating it at the end of it. I just remember kind of like, okay,
hate's definitely a strong word. Like, I don't think that I hate it. I just don't think it was good.
I'm disappointed by it. I'm completely disappointed. I feel like that this was a total cash grab. Like, if this had come out in the theater as planned, if COVID hadn't happened, this was a total fucking cash grab at nostalgia. That's all that it was.
Well, I gotta say, any movie that's come out before, during this pandemic that I'm watching on, on TV or streaming or whatever for the first time, however, I don't have high expectations for some reason. It's just like they're just not. It's like, maybe it's nostalgia. Just I really like going to the cinema, whatever. It's just if I didn't see it there first to see what it could really look like, I'm not expecting much for it because I don't know what it is. It's just like a stigma or whatever. So, and also knowing that it's PG-13, which I think I knew before, but
I did not know that, and that alone is saddening.
Yeah. I felt like I knew that before and just forgot, but just reminded myself when we started watching it, and at some point I didn't really notice, and then at other points I did start to notice. But I think going in with that mindset, it kind of set my expectations at a certain level to where it was just like, yeah, okay, it was. I thought they hit.
I was gonna say, do you think you would ever watch it again?
Would I watch it again? Like I'd watch it again if, like, say after my kids watch the first one, they want to watch the second one, and I'm there. I wouldn't I'd always have to watch it again to see why you guys hated it so much. I want to know why it really sucked.
It's not hate. Like I said, I'm just so
it was venomous hate. I heard it.
Well, I mean, if we're going super, I'm sorry.
It's not in the words that you use; it's the tone.
The one character that you keep waiting for, with everybody showing up, and you're like, okay, maybe they're just not gonna do him. And at the end, when Randy Watson finally shows up,
that was not a moment I was waiting for at all.
Oh, see, I was, because that to me was one of the best bits in the first movie. But he it was just so disappointing. The song, just all of it. It was just like, what? This is not. Eddie did not look good. Like as an aged up Randy Watson, like it just didn't.
Well, they made him not look good like that on purpose.
No, but I mean, it didn't look like bad. It didn't look real.
Oh.
Like it just looked strange. Like something out of like almost a Henson, workshop or something. Like he was just
talking
really
shit about Henson right now.
No,
man.
No, but okay, so like the mopping, like when he goes and mops in McDowell's, like that's how he meditates, and that's how and that's when Mr. McDowell comes in to give him the fatherly advice. Like it's so bad.
I don't know. It didn't bother me.
I can't.
It's funny. It's actually funny. It makes me laugh that it's Pete and I that have the stronger opinion and not you. That actually,
I gotta watch.
A little weird.
Seriously, I gotta kind of watch it again. I guess I gotta watch it again and
because
see.
this movie is the kind of movie that I'm usually leaning into. Like, no, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I know it was dumb as shit, but I loved it. Like this was dumb, and I'll probably wind up rewatching it because my kids and wife want to watch it. But like,
you watched it by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and that.
See, now I feel like I have to rewatch it because I don't like that I agree with Pete.
What's going to happen is you're all going to watch it again. You two are then going to go, it wasn't that bad, and then Opie's going to be like, "What a pile of shit!" And then you're still going to be agreeing.
I seriously, I don't. I didn't hate it. I know I did, or I'm sorry, I didn't. I wasn't grossly disappointed.
Okay. Come on, you've got this massive, amazingly rich African kingdom. You've got these people that like these servants that bow down and do whatever you say and everything else. But this weird general is allowed to just like drive up with his crazy like sub-Saharan African, warlord band of guys and walk into your palace.
But that was like straight out of West Side Story. Like he just came in like.
Yeah. Like everybody, all the Zamoon
these are the Jets and they're the Sharks. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a little over the top. I'll give you that. But,
Yeah,
uh,
but like I said,
All
for me, I actually
I've
kind
seen
of
worse.
yeah, I kind of liked Wesley Snipes in that part. For as dumb as it was nice to see him do something that for the first time
I
in a
think
while.
honestly, I think if I saw this in the theater, I would be upset.
And she paid for it. Yeah.
Well, if you look at the poster behind me, you'll see that Wesley Snipes was in one of my
I see him.
Scandals movies. So
Yeah,
you're gonna get some more Wesley Snipes talks.
I see. Yeah, that picture. I'm paying my taxes now. Yeah, Jesus, look at all those people. God damn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's hella people.
Well, with that, let's just move right into David and his Expendables, and just leave Coming to America alone. And whoever watches it next.
Yeah, well,
about
apparently we're all gonna watch it again.
Watch again.
See if we
Just
can
to
watch it
find
again
out.
this week.
Yeah.
And next week we'll give our second
Everyone
review.
comes back
And
and
actually, you Alex and David, you guys have to watch it. You'll have to
That's
watch
all
it
right.
this week. No, you gotta watch it. Somebody else has got to be an impartial.
Yeah,
So one of you-
Not it.
Oh, we should do something. We should play some sort of quick game tonight, just between
So that you
two.
can force him to watch it.
No, between you and Alex.
I already did not
this
it.
week. And
Nose goes.
or David, are you gonna watch it this week with your friends?
I can watch it this week.
Okay.
I'll find
Look at
a
David
chance.
falling
Way
on
to
that
be a
sword.
homie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can't get my friends.
I haven't seen the
to make
first
that
one
shit
in like
happen.
a million years. That's why I'm not going to go through both of those, if I'm being honest.
Really? A million years?
First one's worth
You might-
watching again. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
yeah. First one was
Yeah,
solid.
I've seen the first one. It was a long time ago, but
A million years, apparently.
Mhm.
They even
I look
had
great for my age.
pictures of Mortimer and fucking what's his bucket on the wall.
Oh,
Trading Places
from
that
Trading
crossed over.
Places. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he's a relation.
they had done. Yeah,
I had that guy's name and I just lost it. I don't know.
What it's actually funny during that, right at that point when they showed that that painting, the wife said, I like that movie better.
And they made a comment in there too about how most movies shouldn't have sequels.
Yeah.
When he's walking through the garden with the girl and they're talking about sequels and she's like, most
Oh,
sequels
yeah.
are terrible. And when that line happened, I was like, mm-hmm.
Well, no, I think they knew and they leaned into it at that point. I think that was just them admitting that it was not what we wanted.
I don't know.
That's them. They're just giving up on camera, written
Yeah.
into the script.
Yeah, basically.
Look in the camera, give a notion of defeat.
Yeah, they're just like,
Like, sorry. And that's a wrap, guys. All right, we got the film.
yeah. Somewhere in the background you hear the sad trombone sound. Like,
All right. So all right, well, so next week we'll have to come back and say, okay, did we change our mind by a second watch? David can have fresh eyes as well and appreciate the nostalgia. So
Right.
with that, why don't we move on to our franchises? So again, Kevin, being a lazy ass, did not watch the second one. Where is it? Anywhere? Can you find it?
no, I'm having to rent them. They're none of them stream anywhere apparently. It's crazy to me. I figured it with as many streaming services as there are,
Yeah.
that they'd be somewhere and they're just not.
So you rent them through iTunes, so they are streaming that way, or do you actually have to physically
Yeah,
rent a
yeah.
DVD? Oh,
They
okay.
seem to all be on
he has to
iTunes.
find a Blockbuster.
Isn't there
To
still one in like
re-engage his
Idaho or something?
Netflix.
Alaska, I think.
It's Alaska, yeah. He
Yeah.
had to
I
re-engage
thought
his
it
Netflix DVDs.
closed. I thought it closed finally.
Maybe.
What did the
Every
last
now and
one
again I
close?
see- Yeah, I've
I
seen
think the
that headline.
pandemic finally killed it.
Well, that
I'm
makes
not
sense.
100%
Can you imagine if like still no? It's like nope. I'm still
We're
good.
still here.
Thanks to late fees.
They made a
Um,
documentary about it. It's coming out
Yeah.
soon. It's like hosted by Kevin Smith or something like that.
Shocker.
All right. Well, Pete,
Yes.
what you have the easiest one. Why don't you begin? Since I think if we're gonna, for the most part, I imagine we're all going to be in agreement about this film. So
yeah,
we should be.
I don't think there's going to be.
We should be.
I had not watched this in a long time. I caught like bits and pieces of it here and there, but this was the first time, and I think easily 15 years since I've actually sat down and watched Predator. This movie completely holds up in so many ways, and not just in like I'm feeling nostalgic about it because it was like, you know, when I was a young whippersnapper movie. It like legit is a really good kind of sci-fi actioner movie.
Oh yeah, one of the best.
Yeah,
it's like, so cool because it's like a grounded site. Like, I mean, they're not really taking huge leaps. They're not asking a lot from you. It's really good.
Yeah, that's fair.
The animatronics in the Predator face at the end of that movie have still yet to be topped, even in more modern Predator movies. Like, he looks just like he's a real thing.
Yeah,
like the way his face moves, and he has little twitches in his mandibles and stuff. Like,
I actually found myself, like, even though I knew what was coming and I'd seen it a million times before, I had, you know, taken my Predator hiatus. It was so good and so kind of freaky in that moment still. Like when he, you know, starts disengaging all his shit and he pops it off and you're just like, damn, that looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've actually watched almost all these, even the new ones, except for the Adrian Brody one.
That one's not bad.
This one is still by far, he's obviously the best out of all of them, but I also think this is probably Arnold at his best as well.
He's really good.
His best
as an action star. Like,
yeah, he's really good in it.
He's super solid. Like he doesn't seem, even with the accent, he's not overacting. It's like they didn't give him much to do, which was good in terms of that. And he does it well.
Mm-hmm.
And the cast they put around him is perfect. You know, there's you know the little subplot about, you know, whether the CIA agents were really there or not, and
mm-hmm.
that whole thing, what the whole mission was for, that's there, that kind of propels it, but it doesn't like take over everything.
Well, that's what I like about sort of the beginning of the movie, is that if you went into this totally blind and just kind of started watching it, you would think it was just sort of like a Commando-esque action movie. Like, the alien doesn't show up for quite some time. I mean, obviously the beginning of the movie starts with the ship flying over Earth, and, you know, you kind of know something's going on, but for the most part, it's, you might even just forget about that, because the way that the movie kind of unfolds at the beginning with, going into, you know, where they're not supposed to exfiltrate XYZ person. And, you know, it definitely keeps you kind of entertained with that sub story enough to where you almost forget you're watching like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
It just seems very, very, very much just like a, not run of the mill, but just very grounded action movie with a squad of guys going through hostile territory. Like, that could have been the whole movie, and essentially would have been if the Predator didn't show up. But
right.
Yeah, it's subverts expectations very well.
Exactly. You know, I do remember the only real problem I had with the movie is the same thing I had back then. It was just with the mud and how cool that would actually keep him, and that whole argument, which has been done ad nauseum on the internet. If you know, look at old,
I never really cared.
And shit like
I didn't care.
Yeah, that never bothered me.
I just accepted that.
I thought it was a cool thing, and it worked, and it made him look rad.
It's not even about the fact that it wouldn't make him cool enough. It just like, it sort of like is disguising his heat signature, because he's more or less like blending in with the other fauna, and he's almost like neutral with it. And I don't know.
I'll buy into it. Like I said, it's just that the only thing that kind of ever took me out.
He always has to find something. Am I right, guys? He always has to find something.
This movie is perfect. Just shut up.
Shut
up.
I absolutely love
Turn
it.
off your camera.
I'm actually looking forward to watching the second one because I
Ooh, I
remember.
wouldn't be.
I remember watching it.
Bad.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
I
that
remember
bad.
watching it and thinking that it wasn't
bad.
as good as the first. Like all sequels aren't, but it wasn't that bad back then. That's another one that I haven't watched in,
It's just
years.
super different.
You got Gary Busey. How could you go wrong?
That's true. It's just
It's
really
a totally
different
movie.
Yeah. Like the Predator's just like in there right away in the second one. They waste no time. It's very much more balls to the wall. They don't give as much time for character development. And,
yeah. I'm here. Here I am.
Yeah.
Where
you
did you
the
watch it,
Jaws
Pete?
suspense doesn't really work twice. You once you've seen the shark, you got to show them the shark again. So that's the second movie.
You know what? I forgot where I watched it. I'll get it back out. It's all of them though. Right now, if you have like most of the streaming services, HBO, I think I saw this one might have been on Showtime, but like between HBO, Hulu with FX, and one other one, I think you get all. You have access to the entire Predator series, even the Alien versus Predator ones. I think those are both on HBO right now.
Now you have to watch these on your own, buddy. No one's going to help you.
Oh no, I'm just. saying
I'd be
it's where
glad
they're
to,
available.
rather than.
Nope.
a little weak swap. Pete
Tell you what,
watches,
just finish me off. Just finish it off. All right. Well, I guess
would recommend.
Oh, completely. If for
some reason you haven't seen it.
I mean, if you could get past the whole heat signature bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Fresh mud, just like, but whatever. Okay. I'm done. All right. Well, I guess Alex, since I kind of want to hold off on Alex's only because I'm just so excited. So I'll just quickly go through my next my Hunger Games. I watched number 3 and 4 this week just because when it's part 1 and part 2, I might as well just try to watch the whole story as quickly as possible just to put it all together. So at the end of the second one, Katniss shot her arrow at the top of the dome with the electric wire, and it blew up. And then she gets picked up and finds out that her district has been demolished by President Snow. So starts off in the part 3 with Katniss waking up from a hospital. And she's having nightmares and this and that. Doesn't know where PETA is, and basically the story goes into that there's a rebellion that's been started, and what's her face? Who plays the president?
Julianne Moore.
Yeah, Julianne Moore. So the president of this rebellion.
Thank you.
Wants Jennifer Lawrence's character Katniss to be the Mockingjay, the symbol of this rebellion, to rally people from all the districts to go against the Capitol and kill President Snow. And so Katniss wants to help, but they're trying to. Her whole thing is she wants to find PETA, who we come to find out is at the Capitol, and he's doing these like news spots as far as trying to tell people to stand down and that it's all a mistake. But then every time he's doing one of these propaganda films over the course of it seems like maybe a week or so, he's looking more and more like starved or beaten or what have you. And so I'm kind of blending the two movies together, but basically Katniss agrees to be the Mockingjay if they go and free PETA from the Capitol, and then also a couple of the other previous champions or victors that were being held captive that were in the dome when she blew it up. And so they they put together this task force and they go and are basically successful. But PETA has been completely brainwashed, and he is dead set on killing Katniss, which he tries initially by choking her to the point where she has a problem. So that's the end of the first of part 3. Basically, is that he's choking her. They get him off her. He just wants to kill her, and so the next movie starts off where she's has a neck brace and she's like trying to talk, and slowly but surely, try to get him to understand that he was brainwashed or this and that. They're talking about what they did to him in order to get him to be like that. And then now they're on a mission to. Oh, she escapes from this facility that they are, where the president is, played by Julianne Moore, who she wants Katniss to go and stay in their district where she's safe and be still be the Mockingjay, and make these propaganda films to put out as far as as if she's in these battle situations and just the rile the troops and keep them motivated, all this kind of stuff. And she wants to go and kill President Snow. That's her destiny, basically. So she sneaks her way onto a transport that takes her to this area where President Snow is, but other people knew that. Siri, I am not calling you. And she sneaks her way onto this transport, but when she gets there, everyone recognizes her. There's already basically a task force already there that kind of knew she was going to be there, kind of situation. So she's just trying to get to Snow. The movie itself, both the movies, the whole series is pretty good as far as it is. The whole tone of every movie I say is pretty consistent. So if you like the first one, the next 3 you're probably gonna like. There's nothing that's where it takes you a totally different. I agree that the third movie is a little more informational than visually stimulating, but I think kind of knowing that it also helps, but also being able to watch them back to back also definitely helps, because it just seems like a long movie where it's just a lot of the backstory or build up to this happening. But yeah, I mean, overall it's good. It it definitely, if you want to get nitpicky, it's amazing that anyone survives, especially with those game generated little pods that are all over the place, where it's seriously, how does anybody survive in a world like that? And it's no, things are cool, just relax, guys, relax. So that kind of stuff would seem just a bit ridiculous. And then it's interesting how you see the character, Julianne Moore's character, where her ambition starts to shift, or at least you start to see more of her agenda, and where it's basically changing one regime over for another, and Katniss ending that right away. So it's just it's entertaining, and definitely I'd say thumbs up, worth a watch. Put Jennifer Lawrence on the map pretty much. Well, I know Winter Bone, I think, was right before that, but this really kind of put her name out there.
Yeah, this is what shot her up to stardom.
Yeah, for sure. So,
yeah,
alrighty.
This one actually, just real quick, I had been looking forward to Mockingjay Part 2, because that has a scene in it that in the
been out for a while. It's been out for a long time.
What?
It's been out for a while.
You said you've been looking forward to it.
Oh no, I'm saying I had been looking forward to it after having read the books, and it was very interesting the way they did the bombs that blew up and killed everybody in the town square.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. It's how did it, even the oil that starts coming after, it's how the fuck is anybody gonna survive that?
Yeah.
It's like, that's just, come on. Come on. And then those creatures, come on.
Oh, those
Come on.
albino zombie dog thingies.
I mean, they did, that was kind of a cool, it's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna suspend disbelief for a second during the scene because it looked pretty cool, was when Katniss was just, zapping them one at a time, just, with her arrows. They did that little kind of spin around camera shot as she's nailing all these, whatever they were. But that was part of like, I'm like, okay, let's get through the scene because it looks cool, but come on, that's crazy. You're like hitting every single one, not one arrow's missing. Come on.
Legolas
turned into Hawkeye.
Yeah, Legolas, Hawkeye, all of them. Apparently, it just makes archery seem it's not that hard. I mean, come on.
Yeah, anybody could do that.
Yeah. So, but it's entertaining. I'd say thumbs up. Worth all four of them. I lucked out on that spin for sure. Let's how about this, David? Since you blew through your Expendables, let's listen to that real quick, and then you and I will spin, and then we'll
end with Alex's epic review of
because I don't know if I'm gonna hold it together.
I just want to get this over with.
I know you do.
Every time Alex is just sitting there, when do I get to spin again?
Someday. Shit franchise.
Alex, spinning again feels so good.
It depends on what I land on. That's what's gonna.
I feel like I'm gonna get that. I don't know. I just feel like I'm gonna get Friday the 13th.
I hope it gets taken off the board. I couldn't do that. I can't. And like not 2 in a row. I should be exempt because there's the same movie in both of those, which is Freddy versus Jason.
No, you have to watch that both times.
Yeah, I think that was the council's ruling.
There's no what? There's no council. I'm gonna have like Command Q, like just hovering, and if I see it going to that, I'm just gonna quit out and be like, I missed it. At least I got to spin again.
Yeah. Don't worry, we're recording it. We got you.
Okay. David, I've not seen any of these movies, so
all right. Well, Expendables 1 was pretty decent, and Expendables 2 pretty much, just picks up the same kind of thing, instant action, and it's in Nepal. And this one, they all come in like straight up Fury Road. Like all of these vehicles are like all just like scabbered together by whatever was there, and they're just big jumps, and you're just going, okay, guys. And there's a motorcycle on the front of Sylvester Stallone's truck, and it's just like it's on there, and you're like, okay, cool. I guess they're gonna get in at some point, and then they're gonna
like strapped to the front of it, like
strapped to the
bicycle,
front.
like a bicycle would be, but the
like when the city bus comes along and the bicycles on the front of the bus, but it's a motorcycle on the front of again this Fury Roaded out.
What kind of motorcycle?
Well, it's a Fury Road motorcycle. It's all cobbled together with spare parts and whatever. I mean, it's been taken from the wastelands.
Is Mad Max on the wheel, by the way?
What was that?
Is Mad Max on the wheel, by the way? You've been talking about it. And I was just like,
it's Mad Max on the wheel. I think it might be.
Because there's like 4 of those, I think.
Yeah. I'll check. Well, go ahead and continue.
So you do find out what they use the motorcycle for, which is at some point they get out of the truck, they take the motorcycle off, they rev the engine, and it like runs up a piece of debris and takes out a helicopter. And I was like, wow, I was rather impressed that you planned to take out the helicopter with a motorcycle, but that's cool. So then you find out that in this cold open that they are there to save Arnold Schwarzenegger and a Chinese billionaire that he was trying to save. And so they're successful in doing so. And then they get outside and they're on their way home. They don't have enough time to drop off the billionaire for some reason, I guess. So they just drop him out of the plane with Jet Li, and then he's gone. That's like he's out of the movie. Like he just
the billionaire leaves. Or Jet Li?
Jet Li and the billionaire, they leave together. They drop him out, and they figure Jet Li's Chinese. He can get the billionaire home, and then and then he never returns. He just
Did they assume he landed safely and they?
Yeah. I mean, he basically tells everyone, "Bye, I'm not coming back." And they were like Dolph Lundgren's character, who, if you remember from the last film, was the good guy, and then it was a bad guy, and then at the end was brought back into the team as a good guy again.
Oh, Dolph.
He was always a dick to Jet Li, and then in the beginning of this one, they have a bit more of a rapport. It's kind of a callback to the first film, but still it's a little mean on the Dolph side, and so Jet Li was like, "I'm out of here," and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you," and he goes, "Yeah, you'll find someone else to be racist towards," and then he jumps out, and then bye to Jet Li, and they have a new addition to the team who sticks out like a sore fucking thumb, and it's a very fresh-faced Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
oh
yeah.
where's he in that poster? I don't see him in the poster.
Well, this is Expendables 3. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You didn't make it, huh? All right.
No. So, okay. So I have
Spoilers.
like 3 things written on here, and the 4th thing on my notes is Liam Hemsworth is going to die. That is what I wrote here on this. And then they go on a different mission. They're approached by Church, who is Bruce Willis's character from the CIA, and he's all pissy because of the way the last movie ended. So he convinces Sylvester Stallone to take a female agent with him and to go get something out of a crashed plane in the Ukraine or Albania or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And so he reluctantly takes on this new partner. I forget the actress's name, but I will look that up.
Is that Ronda Rousey? Oh no, that's the third one. Sorry.
No, that's the third one. Yu Nan, and she plays the character of Maggie Chan, and she was good. If we're gonna be honest, she did really good. I liked her in the role, but she was supposed to have chemistry with Sylvester Stallone, and let me tell you, that did not exist in any capacity. Yeah. So anyways, they go with her. They succeed in getting the thing out of the plane. And then as soon as they get out, of course, there is the bad guy, and it is Jean-Claude Van Damme. So Jean-Claude Van Damme basically convinces them all to drop their weapons, which, I don't know why anyone would do this. So they drop their weapons, and they hand over the box. And then he takes his knife and does a spin roundhouse kick and kicks it into the chest of Liam Hemsworth, who promptly dies.
There's a really funny behind the scenes story from a Graham Norton interview with Liam Hemsworth, where they were filming that scene, and in one of the takes, Jean-Claude Van Damme just straight up kicked him in the chest for real, like with all of his might.
Yeah.
And he went down and he was gasping for air. And Jean-Claude Van Damme, because he's a psychopath, was like, "It's okay. It was a controlled kick." And he was like, "Nope, you kicked me in the fucking chest. I can't breathe." And it's just, oh man.
So now they're all mad at Jean-Claude Van Damme. And you find out that what he stole is a map to a shit ton. I believe it's 500 tons of plutonium that the Russians buried in a mountain, because that's what they do.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, yeah. So then, of course, now they're mad that Jean-Claude Van Damme killed their friend, this kid who's been in the film the whole 20 minutes. He made it through the first scene, and that was it. He was very badass, though. He was their sniper, and he would pick people off as they ran by. He was very good. Anyways, so
Liam Hemsworth, he was a sniper?
Yeah, he was the sniper. So for the second film in a row, Sylvester Stallone contacts the character of Church, the CIA guy, and basically says, "Fuck you, I'm not going to do the job," and then goes and does the job, right? So twice in a row this happens. So they go do the job now, and they're going to take out Jean-Claude because they're pissed about the whole thing. But he's got a fucking army in this podunk country, whatever it is again that he's in. It's some old Russian bloc country that's not developed back up at all. And so basically he comes in as a warlord and takes over. So they have to fight their way through this army. And in this, you get the best scene and the worst part of the movie in the same go.
Awesome.
And so they're cornered, they're all surrounded. And in the first film, this is when Sergeant Jeffords comes through with his auto shotgun and like fucking saves the day. And it is a badass scene. And you get the equivalent in this one. It's a badass scene. Everyone gets shot down. They blow up some tanks. And you're just like, wow, that was fucking rad. And then they cut to it. And it's Chuck fucking Norris, right? And he's standing in the middle of the road. And you were like, wow, that was a great like reveal. And you're laughing. And then fucking Chuck Norris opens his mouth. He was so bad. And it made me wonder how Walker, Texas Ranger made it on the air for any length of time, because he could not deliver the most simple of lines. They sounded awful. And he gives this I'm a lone wolf speech and won't work with you guys, and then like disappears off,
Of course.
with like a, accompany little sound cue that's very reminiscent of like a Wild West or some shit like that, right? So it was a really cool scene until Chuck Norris spoke, and then it was just awful. And you were like, oh man, that's terrible. So now they know where to go, and for whatever reason, they take their cool plane, which they've used to great effect in the past two films or film and a half, and they crash it into the mine. There was no reason to do this, but that was the plan, I guess. So they crash the plane into the mine, it takes all the wings off, they get down, and they show up just in time to save the villagers that have been exploited.
Wait. They want to crash the plane into the mine to use it as like a bullet to get themselves down into the mine?
Yeah, to get themselves further into the mine.
Whose idea was that?
And apparently Sylvester Stallone's, because he's the idea man.
That's just science, dude.
Oh, like I said, like this plane is like his baby throughout the films. This makes no sense.
Don't want to take a simple measurement first, real quickly.
Oh no, it's real clear that he's going to break the plane in doing so.
It's just going to scoot itself.
Puts
right
the wheels down, right? So they just bounce along without any wings now and engines and tail or any of that. You don't need any of that shit. Now you're just a train.
Yeah,
you turned it into a train. It's a transformer.
Thank God.
Anyways. They get in there. Also subplot, he's been taking villagers to get this shit out. They of course have a very brief Seven Samurai scene where they like kick ass and save the villagers. It's like they did Magnificent Seven in like 15 seconds. It was real fast. And
that's all you need.
Yeah. So they save them, but not in time to get out cleanly. Jean-Claude blows up and gets away with all the stuff. He blows up the mine. They're stuck in a little pocket. And then Arnold shows up to save the day, and he's got a little drill, and he gets them out. And so they get out, and now they decide, okay, we're gonna go fuck this guy up.
He has a drill. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Like he was smart. He went outside and grabbed some of the mining equipment and literally like drove it in and punched a hole and got them out.
Did he say anything punny when he drilled through?
Well, we're gonna get to that.
Oh.
While we're on it, this movie like turned the cheese up, like just is really leaning into it. The first one was just an action film, and then this one was like, you know what, we were not commando enough, we really need more one-liners. And so every time Arnold shows up, they recycle an Arnold one-liner. Like
they just take the audio from the original time he said it.
Man,
and just overdub it.
I wish, because he just delivers it poorly. Right? Again, Arnold
can't even say his own lines.
No, he cannot, and he is really terrible. Most of the acting in these films is really bad.
What?
I mean, but you're not in it for that. You're in it for the action, and the action's pretty decent.
So basically, I will have Henry Cavill's face watching that.
Yeah, exactly. And so Church shows up with a whole bunch more gear, and so now they go tackle Jean-Claude Van Damme, and they end up in this epic firefight in this Albanian airport, which is full of Albanians, by the way. and they just with reckless abandon, full fucking auto. Like the good guys, the quote unquote good guys of this film are just don't give a shit. Like they are just firing. Somehow no one gets hit. It's magical that
They're
way.
professionals.
They're professionals. That's right. Every single bullet goes to the right spot.
They went to GI Joe training.
You do end up with this really great classic fight with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Sylvester Stallone in a warehouse, which was like the go-to closing fight in 80s action films. Mm-hmm. This fight is super reminiscent of like Cobra for Stallone and Time Cop for Jean-Claude Van Damme. Both of these.
2 highlights. Oh my God. Of 2 to pick. Jesus Christ.
Yes. So in the end,
one is like, oh, really? The other one's like, which one?
So Jean-Claude loses and fucking Stallone decapitates him and delivers like the head in a bag, like classic head in a bag drop off.
Delivers Boom. To what? He's like,
to Church and Arnold. Like he's like, here guys, I did it. Boom. And that's the end of the movie. And the Maggie chick, she leaves and goes off. She was very helpful throughout the film, but you know, she says bye. She's like, if you want me to stay, I'll stay. And he was like, nah, you might die that way. And she's like, okay. And then she leaves. And then that's the movie. So
no, you might die that way.
Yeah,
okay.
Something along that line. I would say so. The first film had a Rotten Tomato score of like 47. This one had like a 65. And I definitely did not really care for this one. This one was not as good as the first one. It was way too cheesy. The plot was convoluted and made no sense. The action was fine, but it didn't really stand out as anything special. It didn't, for whatever reason, like the first one worked better. A big loss was Mickey Rourke was in the first one, and I'm never a huge Mickey Rourke fan, but I thought he actually added a lot to that first film and could have possibly added a lot to the second one, but he was not there.
He's a very good actor. Yeah, ironically.
He's a very good actor. He's an ugly motherfucker at this point.
Oh yeah.
And they were really leaning into that in that first one. But no, he actually helped a lot in that first film. So their option for the third film was, let's just get fucking everybody.
Yeah,
and,
by the looks of it. Yeah.
You can, if you are watching the video, I mean, it is just wall to wall action stars. And I'll address
and some non-action stars, just people.
So this one starts off with a train robbery and kind of Fast and the Furious-ish opening to this one. Although
who's the wheelman? Tell me it's Stallone.
It's Stallone. He's put the helicopter, and yes, he is the pilot. And so they get in there and they do the train robbery, and you find out it is to rescue homeless Wesley Snipes. And he is
rescue homeless Wesley Snipes.
Oh yeah. They get him out, and he is in like straight up like X-Men juggernaut level like containment on this train that they have to break him out of, like Hannibal Lecter mask on his face, like the full deal.
Makes sense.
So they get him out,
but you don't know why. We don't know who he is.
It's because he's Blade. He'll bite you if he doesn't have the mask on.
Yeah, we get him out, and eventually they ask him what he went in for, and the answer was, Kevin,
tax evasion.
Tax evasion. They just straight make the joke in the film.
Nice.
And yeah, you do later come to find out that he.
You know, it's so funny. That's a joke that you make that would be funny until they actually fucking do it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my God.
So you find out that he was one of the original Expendables, and he was the medic and also a knife guy.
And totally expendable.
And apparently, yeah, totally. Well, he tried to knock off a dictator or something like that and got caught, and then ended up in like a black ops prison that supposedly didn't exist. At the end of the train robbery, they used the train to blow up the prison, which was in all likelihood still full of prisoners. So, and it literally like they blew
committed crimes.
Yeah, sounds right.
Crimes.
Yeah. Scum of the earth.
Except for the one scumbag that they wanted to get
that
out.
That particular prison housed nothing but baby rapists.
apparently.
So we're clear. We're clear.
So they get him out, and then they instantly go on this job. So they're in the air, and he's like, "Man, I'm so excited to go home." And they're like, "Fuck you, dude. We were down a man. That's why we came and picked you up." He was like, "Okay." So they go on their first job, and it's to take this guy out. And then when it comes time to take the guy out, it's Mel Gibson. And Sylvester Stallone is all worked up because he already put 3 rounds into Mel Gibson and was pretty fucking sure he was dead. So he of course botches the whole thing. Yeah, he botches the whole thing, and Mel Gibson.
Part of the Russian mob by chance? He
was not Russian mob.
Okay.
No, he was just an international arms dealer at this point. And so he, in retribution, decides to put a couple of sniper rounds through Sergeant Jeffords. So we fucking lose Terry Crews, which sucks because Terry Crews is rad. And
was he in the second one? I don't remember you mentioned.
Yeah, he's in the second one. He does the same stuff. He's the standout. I mean, nothing that he does actually changes the plot of the film, but he's very entertaining at what he does do. So he's one of the better actors in the film. That's sad. And Terry Crews is larger than Arnold. If you look at the little photo huge on the screen there, he looks smaller than Arnold, but when they're on screen next to each other, no, he is bigger than Arnold, which is pretty damn cool. So anyways, they sideline him for the whole film.
Is he like dead, or is he just
alert,
out of the?
He survives.
Okay.
In
case they had to do 4.
Yeah, because 4 is on the book, so we can talk about that later if you like.
Oh.
Get them before they die. Get them before they die.
And so we get another Arnold cameo. He shows up again, and this time he brings with him Harrison Ford. Yeah. And Harrison Ford is the new Bruce Willis. Bruce is apparently done. He was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out of here." So we get Harrison Ford. And my note here says, nobody told Harrison Ford that he was in an Expendables film because he's like actually taking the role seriously and like giving a performance. And you're like, whoa, this intensity really stands out. Is very strange in this film. So he is the new CIA handler. And of course
does he think he's Jack Ryan right now?
Yeah, he definitely
he needs to dial it down just a hair.
So he basically says, you need to go get this guy. You fucked up. And he goes, "You fucked up. You didn't tell me that it was this guy." And they're like, "We don't give a shit who he was. We gave you what his name is now, and you were supposed to fucking kill him, and you didn't do it. So make it happen." So Sylvester Stallone decides this is a suicide mission. And unlike all the other suicide missions, this one's a real important suicide mission. So he breaks up his team and he sends them away, like in the movies where the kid kicks the puppy and is mean to it so that it'll go away, so it won't follow him off when he does something dangerous. So,
to each one of them?
Yeah.
So he yells at them?
He puppy kicks the entire team and sends them packing, which they, of course, don't understand. And then he goes to find his new team, which he uses Kelsey Grammer to recruit his new team. What
an action star.
What an action star. So they get Kelsey Grammer. And amongst the new team is Ronda Rousey, who is a bouncer. And she does so in a skin-tight red dress and high heels. And manages, for those who can't see Opie, his hands are over his face now. And it's pretty cringy. And then one of the guys that go try to see is Antonio Banderas. And Antonio Banderas is deemed too old and isn't allowed to come. But he does some, or the actor, the stuntman does some insane parkour shit to show off his skills before he's promptly told that he's too fucking old and to fuck off. And so then they get a couple other people. So if you look at the picture behind me, for those who can, there were a bunch of youngins in this film. I have no fucking idea who these actors were or if they've ever done anything. None of them looked familiar. None of them gave a performance that was worthwhile. Jason Statham's been in all 3 films. He plays Lee Christmas.
So real quick,
Lee Christmas.
Who's standing next to Mel Gibson that's cut off?
Oh, that's Kelsey Grammer.
He's wearing a fedora.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a an international middleman for mercenaries. Like that's his gig.
Is that Antonio next to Harrison on the poster, even though he's like not really in the movie?
Yeah.
No. Well, there'll be more Antonio.
Oh, okay.
So basically, they go and they decide to kidnap Mel Gibson because now instead of killing him, they want to take him to The Hague for trial as a war criminal. So Sylvester Stallone wants to do the equivalent of run a plane into the front of this building and then run in and shoot everything.
Well, it worked with the mine.
That's right.
Why wouldn't you?
All the kids are like, no, man, we're going to use technology to get this shit done.
I'll just ram it.
One is a hacker. One is like a weapons developer.
Ram it.
And that kind of shit. Well, that's what he wants to ram it. So he's like, okay, kids, we'll let you do it your way.
I'm gonna ram it. What?
So the kids do it their way. They hack into everything. They're able to control the direction that Mel Gibson flees because of what doors they unlock and what doors they lock. And they basically get him with like fucking no effort at all. It's super, super easy. They get him in a van.
Barely an inconvenience.
Then you get the classic like cocky villain. I've been caught, but I'm still super cocky and I'm going to talk shit at you. And then, of course, his guys show up because he has a GPS tracker on him that somehow these kids with all this technology missed the most basic fucking thing you should always look for when you're kidnapping someone. So, of course, they get hit. Only Sylvester Stallone gets away. All four of the new kids on his team are captured. So he, of course, slinks back and I need to go rescue them. Mel Gibson gets a hold of him and is like, ha, 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 I've got your guys. You've got 48 hours to come and get them. And they're, of course, like, it's a trap. And Sylvester Stallone's, I don't care. I got to go anyway. So
he's going to ram him.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit him hard.
So he decides to go get
a plane.
Yet another new team. And the only person on the team that he gets this time is Antonio Banderas, who...
Talk about the C team. Jesus.
Yeah, who beats him down. And you find out that Antonio Banderas is the only survivor from an Expendables-like team. And he's just too old and no one wants to hire him anymore. But he's really fucking good. And he's like, why won't people let me do the one thing I'm good at, which is kill people? Like, all he wants to do is fucking kill people. And it's not even like, I want to be a mercenary. Like, I want to go kill people. And
it's a really powerful scene.
It's got
it's pretty awesome. Antonio Banderas in this film is fucking magnificent. He is so funny. He talks constantly. That's the other reason no one wants him, because he does not shut up, because he is profoundly lonely and has been for years.
Is that like
he has people to talk
character
to,
thing they created? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And now that he has people to talk to, he does not stop talking. But he's just like this sweet guy. But then when it gets to the fighting, like his his choreography is really cool. It's very physical, very acrobatic, it's very cool. He's my favorite character in the whole
very
film.
Zorro-esque.
Yeah. It's very fun.
Desperado meets Zorro.
So of course they show up, they get the kids, and now it's a trap. Of course it's a trap. And they're able to disable on the way out with him and just Antonio Banderas, the actual original Expendables team is there, like blocking the plane from taking off. And of course, he lets them finally onto the plane and they go off to do the final mission with everybody. So they successfully get to the kids, and now the team is fucking enormous because you've got the original team plus Antonio Banderas plus these other four kids. But I guess it is minus Terry Crews
and Jet Li.
And Jet Li, who just left. And then who shows up but Jet Li?
Oh.
With Arnold and Harrison Ford. And Harrison Ford is like apparently a retired Air Force pilot. So he's flying this helicopter.
We're going to ram it.
And
get off my plane.
Between them, they are able to prevent an entire building from blowing up. One of the kids has essentially what amounts to a Pip-Boy from Fallout on his arm. And he's able to use the Pip-Boy to hack the signal and block the building from blowing up.
Sure.
But they only have until the battery expires, which of course is only about 20 minutes. So
Sure.
Fucking batteries get you every time.
Once that battery expires, this whole building's gonna blow up. So, and then between them and then now Arnold and Jet Li, who each have like huge fucking machine guns that are hanging out of the side of this helicopter that Harrison Ford is flying, and they're able to take out one helicopter, but there's two more. He's literally doing fucking loops in this helicopter where Arnold and Jet Li are firing machine guns out the side of it. And
I don't know if you saw Terminator what was the one? Genesis. Yeah.
I have not seen Genesis,
but
so do you get something similar?
Oh well, he's having a full-on fight on a plane that's taking off, and they're standing on the back ramp.
That was Dark Fate.
That's Dark Fate.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, sadly.
He's
blocked that scene out.
Tremendous amount of balance that man has. Tremendous.
Yeah, and Jet Li. I mean,
it must have very
martial arts. It's really
low base.
I mean, to be fair, he's a robot in Terminator, at least.
So they're able to do all of that, and then the reckless kid that he gets, the one who doesn't follow authority and whatnot, you know, essentially like the baby version of Sylvester Stallone's character. It's fucking obvious. Anyways, he uses a motorcycle to take out like a dozen tanks and 2 helicopters. So he's pretty fucking cool. But he doesn't just ride it into he's actually like riding up things and like jumping off of like ramps and throwing grenades into things. And it's all flashy and motocross.
Believable.
And yeah, super believable. But basically they get it all done. And as it looks like they've defeated most of it, finally Mel Gibson gets all pissed off and decides to take things into his own hands and comes running out in like a fucking button-up shirt with a fucking revolver. 6 shots. That's what he's gonna take them all out. No body armor, no nothing, right? Like, and of course he makes it all the way to Sylvester Stallone. And then he shoots him a couple times, and then of course just is like, let's do this like men and throw it down and fight with our hands. And you know, of course, then they make it all the way. They kill him, and he goes just as he's about to die. He's about to be killed by Sylvester Stallone. He says, "What about the Hague?" And Sylvester Stallone, in his best Judge Dredd voice, says, "I am the Hague," and then kills him.
Oh my god!
And then, Arnold, of course, at one point is trying to get them to come, so he gets his "get to the chopper" line in.
All right.
Yeah. And
all right.
He also got the "I lied" line from Commando.
Okay.
And a couple. I mean, like if there's any sort of reverence over an '80s action Arnold line, it made it into these films already. And it ends with Sylvester Stallone running across the top of this building as the battery goes out and it explodes. And so he's running in a building that's exploding and falling behind him, and he catches the helicopter. And it's a very cliffhanger-esque ending as they fly away with 12 people crammed into this little helicopter and dragging Sylvester Stallone's little ass away. So that was the movie. Review aside, I fucking loved it. It was so much fun. It was cheesy and stupid, but they kind of nailed everything. Like everything just worked. And while it was entirely ridiculous and the new crew kind of sucked, it's still, in the end, I thought was really fun and funny, and we'll definitely watch again someday.
Would you say it's your favorite of the 3? It
is my favorite. Expendables 3 was my favorite.
So like for you, it's 3, 1, 2 kind of?
Yeah, 3, 1, 2.
Huh, okay. Interesting.
So yeah, as weird as all that sounds, like, and as ridiculous as this summary is, it was fun. So
well, with a movie like that, you know what you're getting, and if you go in with that in mind, you can have a really good time.
Yeah, I went and expected something from 2, and I think that might be why I was disappointed. But after 2, I was like, okay, it peaked at 1, like it's all downhill from here. And then I saw like the size of this cast, and then typically that means they're really overcompensating for something, right? You're like, okay, this one's going to be absolute trash. So I went in with rock bottom expectations, and maybe that's why I loved it so much. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
All right. Well, before we spin, which we're instituting a new rule, is that when we have to spin, we can add a franchise to the wheel beforehand after we've completed one. So would you like to add one to the wheel before you spin?
Well, there was a question on the tabs or the texts. Was Men in Black added? Is that on the list?
That's on here.
Okay. Well, that was the only one.
We talked about Mad Max. Is that there?
Oh yeah, Mad Max.
That's on here.
Okay.
I asked about the Highlander series.
Aren't there only 2 Highlanders?
Yeah,
I thought
there's
there
only a
were
couple of
3.
movies and then a TV show.
But you do not have anything you want to add?
No, and I don't want to add Highlander because I would get that. And while the first one's good, that second one is really scary bad. And I can imagine it's only downhill from there.
All right.
Well then, let me get this up here.
No, there's one Highlander 2: The Quickening, Highlander Endgame, Highlander: The Final Dimension, Highlander: The Source.
Well, we're not adding it.
Yeah, you have to finish your next one if you want to add it. I choose not to.
I care about our listeners.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. There we go. Ready?
Yep. Ooh, Taken was on there. I'd be down for that.
Oh, Taken.
I haven't seen any of those movies.
Godfather, I saw that in there.
And it is.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oddly
Nice.
enough, I've actually watched all of those recently, so I can watch those again.
So have I.
easily.
Damn,
Yeah.
I wish I would have gotten that.
I watched
All
them
right.
in advance of the new one that was supposed to come out. That is in COVID limbo land.
Yeah, it's still supposed to come out. So
Speaking of COVID
David,
limbo land, there's a date for Black Widow.
May 7th, right?
May 7th.
hold on, we haven't even said what you got.
Didn't we though?
No,
Well, we
we've
saw it,
already
but we
had to
didn't
cover
see
it.
it.
Saw
We
it.
saw it, but we didn't say it.
So David spun the wheel and he got 007 Daniel Craig series. So much like what Pete got, except
for good.
much
But
better.
good.
Yeah, much
And
better.
only like what, 3 of them?
There's
three
four-
currently.
Four. Isn't there?
Yeah, I haven't
There's
seen
4.
any of those yet.
You have
Yeah.
oh yeah, there is 4.
Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre.
Yeah,
And there's-
Spectre's the only one.
No
we didn't
Time to
watch
Die is
recently.
next.
And then the
That
new
one.
one's coming out.
And the
Yeah.
new one
Yeah,
coming
No
out.
Time to Die.
So did we? Okay, so now when the new Bond comes out, am I required to watch it?
We'll probably
finish
all
it up?
watch it, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
it's like,
Yeah,
why
I
wouldn't
think
you
so.
watch that?
Well, the next question is Expendables 4 is if it does in fact get made, they have.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. If they
23.
add something to, because since we
Yeah.
take these off the board,
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't come back around again.
So next,
But-
when 4 comes out, you have.
I
to
gotta
watch
say,
it.
I'm gonna see Expendables 4 if it comes out at this point, especially if I can see it on the big screen, because I enjoyed
he-
3 on my quote unquote big screen, but I would have loved it on something really sizable.
Well, here's hoping there's another Nightmare on Elm Street movie in the.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's one of the reasons why I was trying to
Well,
set
it'll
the
be-
precedents early.
It'll be Freddy X. He'll go to space just like Jason.
oh, boy.
Everyone goes to space, even James Bond.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, I got to spin now. So let me get this. Let's see,
All
let's
right,
turn
we
this
can
up a
see
little
it.
bit.
That's a good color. That's better than the other color.
All right. Here we go.
Watch comes up 007 Daniel Craig again. 'Cause it hasn't been
That'd be
removed.
awesome.
I saw some Star Wars.
I know, there's
Shrek
some
keeps
bad
coming
stuff.
back up, and Shrek was really Lethal Weapon.
Oh,
Godfather. Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, three's a little not
Couple good
great,
ones in there.
but
I've
but
seen
1
them.
and 2
Ugh.
are some really good
Oh,
stuff.
Damn, I was gonna add something too.
What are you gonna add?
Something I didn't have on here, surprisingly. DCEU.
Oh, what? That's
Ugh.
not on there?
No,
Wow.
That sounds mean.
it is now.
Yeah, that's
It is
painful.
now.
Notice he forgot to add it until after he'd spun.
Right. Oh,
Well, no.
Oh darn!
You know what though? Now
Time
that's
for a
gonna
respin.
include the 4-hour Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Hey, you know
Is that-
what?
Does that
This
retcon the?
That's the thing. I think you
the-
can watch that instead of the Justice League one.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
fine
that's
with me.
true.
Or could you choose to watch the Justice
Justice
League
League.
as opposed to the Snyder cut?
I don't think you'll ever want
Or do you have to watch
We'll
both
see, I
in
guess.
One is 2
comparison?
hours and one is 4. And if the review comes, well, we're all going to watch the Snyder cut anyway.
Yeah, we'll
so.
see.
Yeah.
We'll see what comes
You
of it.
got to. You have to. If you've seen it already, too, especially, it's like you got to. If it's
Yeah.
a chance to erase what we've seen, You don't often get a second chance like this.
It's true. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. So talk to you next week.
He's so cute when he
real
tries.
Real quick though, before we go, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. But Alex, I believe we have one last review. I thought at the beginning you said that you watched Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, and I cannot wait to hear how it was for you. So please, by all means, the floor is yours. Shut up, Pete. Let him talk. Alex, please.
Well, let me just say this. The other week, and most of the weeks, I've said that, well, none of these movies are good. Very, buried deep underneath everything, there's sort of a plot that has a lot of potential. There's beats that I'm like, if someone took this and made it good, it could be something. That stopped on this movie. That's over now. And
it is exactly how I remember it.
I'm pretty sure my IQ lowered from watching this film. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. It's like Witless Protection, The Room, Cats status.
Wow.
It's fucking rank, dude. It is just. From the moment it started, I hated every second of it.
Wait a second. Were you not surprised by the cameo of Roseanne Barr and Tom Arnold?
Yeah, I remember you told me that last week, and I forgot until I saw them on screen. And I was like, why? What is this?
I think they were really high at the time.
They absolutely seemed like they were, both of them, for their 15-second scene.
It was like a why?
Yeah. So here's the gist of the story, if you could call it that. I guess it's very unclear. I guess this is 10 years later. So I'm assuming from the last film, which ended with Freddy getting trapped in his mother's soul. So for all intents and purposes, he's sort of chained up and he can't do his thing anymore, right? That's what you would think. This movie takes place 10 years afterward, and apparently he has decimated the town that what's it called? Springtown or
Springfield, probably.
It's not Springfield. It's
Springwood?
Springwood. That sounds right.
Springwood, maybe.
Sure. Whatever town Elm Street is in, where he was. He's basically turned it into a post-apocalyptic hellscape. Apparently, he's murdered every child in the entire town. Every single one. So now all that's left are adults, and they're all in this state of permanent psychosis because of what he's been doing. It's been driving them all crazy, which again,
really
is not. Yeah, that's 100% what happened, because the movie starts with this guy. I guess he's the last of the Elm Street kids, and so he's trying to get out of town. And
he hasn't left yet.
Well, it's so unclear. I don't know. Yeah.
Fuck this. Everyone's dying. I'm out.
Yeah. So he's leaving, and he's so. Oh my fucking God. He's trying to get out of town. Freddy catches up with him in his dream, starts terrorizing him, and then Freddy takes him out of town. So he literally just didn't have to do that at all. He helps him accomplish his goal. Because apparently, and this is where it gets really fun, Freddy wants this guy to go bring more people back so that he can kill more kids, I guess, which is why would this guy ever come back? Like, I don't understand like what the point of this plan is.
And how's he talking to him? Is he sitting shotgun?
He's in the dream. No, like the guy's in a plane, and then the plane like rips open and the guy falls through into the old house from Nightmare 1. And then he like escapes and gets hit by a bus, and Freddy's driving the bus, and he's like on the front of the bus like a fucking Roger Rabbit cartoon. And Freddy like hits the brakes and it flings him over the town line, which I guess Freddy can't leave the town. I guess that's another rule that's established that we had no idea about. It's the movie started and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I don't
like
even,
once.
I don't know
like
what's
once.
going on. Like they didn't explain anything. They didn't explain who this kid is. Like I had to piece it together later. So anyways, he leaves. He has amnesia apparently all of a sudden and doesn't remember who he is or where he's from. Ends up somewhere, and there's this woman working there, and she's like, what's your deal? And he's like, I don't know. And then she's like, tight. And then that's like and then through something or another, they figure out that they need to go back to the town where Freddy is. So they go back, and a bunch of other kids have stowed away in the back because they're trying to escape the hospital where they all are. This movie doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I don't know. I don't even want to keep talking about it because it's so fucking stupid. Basically, the woman that went back with the guy.
Riveted. I am riveted.
No.
This isn't me talking. This is me driving, listening to this in my car. I'm an audience member, and I want to know what's going on in this movie.
The woman that kid found, apparently, is Freddy's daughter that he has had at some point in his life, who is now older, but doesn't remember that she's Freddy's daughter. It's just this fucking, it's like, why do they keep making shit up? Like, they already have these rules established and this lore established, and they just keep making shit up. And it makes it worse every fucking time. Like, it's like, just stick with your stupid formula. It's already bad, but it's better than this shit. Because this movie, like, nothing in this was established already. Like, they have flashbacks to when Robert Englund was like a regular looking guy, when he's like regular Freddy, and he has a wife and a daughter. And I guess he like, the moral of the story is Freddy was picked on when he was younger. So he grew up, he murdered his wife. They took his daughter away from him because he murdered his wife. And then because of that, he went crazy and started killing kids. That's his backstory. And we found all of that out in this movie. None of this was established before. It was just all like, a bully here. Yeah, basically. Stop being a bully or you're going to create nightmare murderers. And it's just, yeah. And again, this was supposed to be like, I guess the last one, because they do some, the way that they kill him in the end is the same way that they killed him in the first movie, proving that they should not have gone past that first movie. They pull him out of the dream, like someone grabs him while they're in the dream and pull him out of the dream so that he's in the physical world. And then they're basically beating his ass, and someone sticks dynamite into his chest and it blows him up. And then they're like, Freddy's dead. And they don't give like a thing where you're thinking like, oh, maybe he'll come back. They're just like, I guess that's it. Like that's all they had to do. And you think, well, wait, didn't they fucking do that already in the very first fucking movie where they pulled him out and killed him? I'm just like, why do these movies fucking exist?
She just turned her back to him and he ceased to exist.
I would say that ceasing to exist equates to dying and never coming back. Like that's what I would think. I don't.
I think you need to rewatch them because you missed something, man.
I missed a lot. I absolutely did not pay attention for half of this film. I couldn't bear looking at it. It's so fucking bad. Like they keep getting worse. Except for 3. 3 was better than 2. Other than that, they kept getting worse.
And like, you have so now you have Freddy versus Jason.
Well, I have the New Nightmare first. It's New Nightmare, then Freddy versus Jason. Freddy versus Jason is the last one.
This is the last one. He gets to have the pellet cleanser. Do you think you'll roll from one to the other, being as it's now like a close, and you think you're gonna like this last one?
Well, everything that Opie's been saying is that New Nightmare is the best since the first one. So depending on how I feel after I watch it, I'll give myself time in case I want to like smash both of those one after the other. but
so
I don't know. It just depends.
now, the first
0
time I
out of
said,
10. Fuck this film.
well, this one, yeah,
Better
this one
or worse
definitely-
than Cats?
Dude, I don't even know. I
You
can't
have,
even.
you have to watch one or the other. Which one do you choose to watch?
This might be the hardest decision I've ever had to make. Probably this if I had to pick.
So
Cats is
but
that
that-
bad.
a hair's
just-
width better than
That
Cats.
just barely fucking won. Like this movie is horrendous.
I'd probably pick whichever one's shorter.
This is
It's
I mean, this
probably
is like
this one.
this is like an hour. They don't even get to an hour 30. It's like an hour 29.
Okay.
Just like they couldn't even get that extra minute.
Oh, fuck it.
Speaking of, and the reason they probably couldn't is because I've never seen worse editing in a movie ever. This has the worst editing of any movie I've ever fucking seen. It's like some grandma putting together an iMovie for some
Yeah, I guess
grandson's
I did
birthday or
remember
something.
it. Yeah.
Holy,
I just remember
fuck.
how bad it was.
It's so everything about it. It's just
Hmm.
they turn him into like a fucking joke. They turn Freddy
Yeah.
into a joke. Like he's already been a joke for many, many movies, but he's a joke because he's like trying to be cool and scary and he's not. And in this one, he's not even trying to be scary anymore. He's just like, there's a scene where he puts one of the kids into a TV and then he gets a video game controller and like controls him. And it's like a Mario game. And he's like, jump, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like, I'm so mad just thinking about this movie.
So this is the Mario Brothers scene that I vaguely remember. As
Is
you were
that what you were-
describing this film, I was like, this is definitely the one that I watched.
Fucking
and
A, dude.
Saw in the theaters, and I think it was in 3D. And
That makes sense. They have 3D
I
glasses
enjoyed
in
the
the movie.
shit out of this when I was a kid
I can't even.
because I was really young and it was 3D and it was Freddy and I was getting to watch it. I had a lot of fun with this movie as a kid.
Watch it
does
now.
not surprise me that it's awful.
I
now.
saw it in the
it's
theater.
fucking
And
god awful.
and I remember walking out very disappointed. It basically they turned Freddy into like the super annoying neighbor who might kill you.
Yeah, he's a satire on himself, which was already a satire. Like the only movie that was like really took him seriously was the first one. And then after that, it just started going downhill. And I don't care that much because I could give a shit about him at this point. Like if I never see another Freddy movie in my life, I'll be fine.
No, we got 2 more.
Besides those, obviously.
So
And I'm fine with the last one, like
Yeah.
I said, because it splits the time between him and
okay.
Jason doesn't fucking talk. I'm fine with him.
So the next one, it's definitely a more enjoyable film. It's a much better story for sure. Just a much better story.
That's good.
The kid actor in this one, I'm not.
What are
a
you
fan
talking
of.
about with that? I don't know who you're talking about. Like the little girl?
No. In this next one.
The next one.
Yeah, the next one.
Oh,
Next one, the kid. You'll see what I'm talking about.
all right.
I've never been a fan of this particular kid though, and you may recognize him from other things.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you'll like it. Otherwise,
It can't get any worse. Like
that's true.
I wasn't joking when it was hard to decide between this and Cats.
No, this is just again.
It's so
what really
bad.
saves this. What really the acting in this one is okay. It's not. It's a horror film. It's not,
Incorrect.
it's
Are you
not
talking about the one I just watched?
No, the next one.
Oh, okay.
I'm helping you forget the last one.
I'll never forget it.
It's still a horror film-esque as far as the acting level, but
Mm.
the story is really what saves it. It's just an interesting take.
Well, I'm excited, I guess, that something
I can
is
see.
better.
Yay.
I'm excited because I'm almost fucking done. That's why I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be.
I hope so bad I don't get something.
You should try this next week. You should just try to, just sit on it and push it out and get both of them done so you can be done with it.
I might if
and
New
get Friday
Nightmare
13th.
if New Nightmare is better and okay to watch, like, and I'm feeling all right about it, I might just do Freddy versus Jason and just get it over with.
You should.
Just depends. We'll see how I feel about New Nightmare. So burned out on this fucking franchise.
And this is your first, right? This is the first franchise you got.
First, yeah. I'm still on it because there's so many movies, and I
think I'm on my fourth.
I know.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to watch more than one a week. And there were some weeks I missed it. I think 1 week I missed. I don't remember, but
I think this is my second, right? So I'm on to my third.
Yeah.
Because I've done Hobbit, movies. Karate Kid, and Expendables, so I've done all three of those.
And all three of those have about the same amount of movies that I have in this one fucking franchise.
And I did Terminator, right? That's it. Terminator and this. The Terminator had 5. Yeah.
5 or 6, yeah.
5 or 6, yeah.
Hey man, I feel for you. I had to take a month off the show to be able to watch all 7 of mine.
Is that the reason you left? You were like, I can't.
Yeah, it's just
you just needed some time to heal from Roger Moore. Man, I don't know.
Well, don't worry. This time Dave's got Daniel Craig, so you don't have to watch any more 007 for now.
That I would have actually enjoyed getting because I haven't seen any of those yet.
Really?
So that would have been, yeah.
Then you should watch them because I don't want to ruin them for you, and they're actually pretty decent films.
They're actually really good. Well, at least most of them are. Quantum of Solace was, man.
Yeah, we'll get to that in 2 weeks, but yeah, that's about my opinion as well.
Yeah, but even that was still better than some.
Oh, I think it's probably way better than anything Pete watched.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. All right. Well, I guess that's it then. I guess that's our show for this week.
No Justice League trailer. Comes out this Thursday. Actually, the day after this show drops, Justice League will be out.
We'll just watch it.
Yeah.
And then Falcon Winter Soldier the next night.
Wow. So we have a big weekend coming up.
I'm guessing that Falcon Winter Soldier will probably get a little review. Most of our efforts probably going to be on Justice League.
Oh,
I did find
if Justice League comes out on Thursday, we're recording on Saturday.
Yeah.
All 4 hours of it, baby.
We're going to have to be good on the text, though. We don't want to give too much of our... we don't want to give too much away.
We can't say, how about this? Maintain radio silence.
Well, here, interestingly, so on We Got This Covered, they actually have Zack Snyder.
The worst website, dude.
I know. Well, this is what they're saying. Zack Snyder supposedly released kind of a viewing guide because it is going to be 4 straight hours. It's
a viewing guide.
Like when to pee? Is
start
that
at
what
the
we're
beginning
about?
and
watch the first hour, then skip ahead to the 3rd hour.
No, he literally
cut back. This is like
this is what he did. So there's no intermissions. So, dude,
you can't pause it.
No, you can. But what he says is, so they're breaking. He like broke it up into chapters, right?
Yeah, we knew that already. There's 6 chapters or something.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what he says though is that the way you should watch it is. The first chapter is Don't Count On. It's 30 minutes long. It's all Batman. Then you get another 30 minutes. It's Age of Heroes. And he says, this is then when after this first hour is when you should take a break and go and pee, re-up your snacks. Because then chapters 3 and 4.
I don't need to be told when I can go to the bathroom.
I feel like I'll go.
Well, this is what he says. Hour 3 and 4, chapters 3 and 4 are an hour 20. And this is where you should, after this, you should take in the limited IMAX screens, this is where they're having a 15-minute intermission. And then the final hour and 40 minutes of Justice League, you shouldn't take a break during at all.
You shouldn't pause it at all.
So you should watch an hour, take a break, watch an hour 20, take a break, and then watch the last hour 40.
I'm just going to fucking chop through it in one, dude. I'm just going to go through it 4 hours straight.
Put on a diaper and just rock.
Hey, man. I've watched Return of the King. I can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then 4 hours. Fuck. That's a long.
We're going to need 4 episodes to talk about this movie.
You know what? Oh, shit. Well, no. So I will more than likely, if I watch it before we record Saturday, I will more than likely have watched it on my phone.
Why on your
So
phone?
because starting Thursday, I have to. I'm gonna be staying overnight at my mom's house because she's having knee surgery.
Oh, gotcha.
So for the first week or so, someone has to be there at night just in case she can't.
Yeah.
You don't have an iPad you can
Say bring
take
an
with
iPad.
you?
Well, no. Here's the thing: she's going to be downstairs, and so I'm just gonna be there to sleep. So I'm not gonna be watching a movie while she's trying to sleep. I'm watching this TV. I'm like, shh.
Yeah.
So I figure I'll just probably be up there just watching shows on my phone or something like that. But if I watch it, I have to figure something out there.
This one looks final season of Game of Thrones dark. So make sure you got your brightness turned all the way up and you're in a dark room.
It's got Snyder filters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't see the first half of the film. There's all that Batman shit, which is basically I just kept clicking the button to see if my phone turned off.
All I could see was Batman's mouth.
Yeah. So I haven't been watching any trailers for it. So
They're releasing so much shit.
Yeah,
I watched the one,
really
but I don't
cool
feel the
looking
need to
stuff.
watch anymore. None of it's going to make any sense to me anyways.
New teasers every day. Like I just see them as I'm scrolling through like Instagram or Facebook. Just pops up like there's a new 30-second teaser. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And if you think about it, since the movie's 4 hours long, even though they've released all this shit,
It's
still have, like,
an hour
90
and it's still not.
yeah, it's like 98% of the movie still hasn't been seen. It's fucking crazy.
All righty. Well, so next week is just it's written itself. I mean, it
This
doesn't
is
matter,
it, guys.
Honestly, if you want to take a week off of your franchise, this would be the week to take off.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be a week off the franchise kind of thing.
Well, no, it's tough because both the big ones end up right there on Thursday and Friday, right before we go. So you got the next, 4 days to watch something from your franchise, unless you need like meditation and preparation time for the 4-hour Snyder Cut, which
It's more about how much time we have to record on
Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have one more hour than we do today.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. All right. Well, then, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And next week, Justice League, Snyder Cut.
for realsies.
Brace yourselves.
Brace
Falcon
yourselves.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah. We're like going to the belly of the beast, man. We're just like, all right, here it is. The gates are opening. So we'll see how that rolls. Until then, talk to you then.
I still haven't seen it. I did watch like a little.
It's not out yet.
No, but like I watched I haven't seen the original one.
Oh, really?
The Wheaton cut.
Justice League.
Should he
Justice
see
League.
that first or not?
I know that's been the big question. I did watch like a breakdown video of like what happened, and it sounded fucking awful.
I'd say since you waited this long, you might as well wait because that's a pretty unique
But
experience.
here's the problem. I can almost guarantee you that the new one's going to be better. Why would you
Well,
want to
yeah,
watch
exactly.
the first one second?
No. You want to see how bad it was.
That's what I mean. You have to watch it first and then watch.
When you watch it as good, so if it's good, let's just say it is good. By DC standards,
it could be good. Yeah.
Yeah, by DC standards, it's good, right?
Is that like grading something on the Transformer scale?
See, most of us are going to be grading it on based off what it was.
Oh,
as
yeah.
far as like, is it good or not?
The new one.
He's gonna have the perspective of, is it just a good, good
That's
telling
true.
of this?
Yeah.
That's true.
How's
All
it
right.
hold
Whether
up
he
just in
likes it or
general?
not. If he doesn't like it and we think it's good,
That's very telling.
That's the best scenario for us. Because if he didn't like this one and we thought it was good, that's like, oh, dude, buddy, You gotta watch the the next one then. In fact, you gotta watch the extended version, then the theatrical. Because like it's that
Are they
kind of a
different?
decline.
Are they like substantially different?
Yes.
I don't know if Justice League has an extended cut.
Justice League
Are you
doesn't.
thinking
It was
of
Batman
Batman
versus
Does
versus
it?
Superman?
Oh, okay. Batman versus Superman. That's
Because those are pretty significant.
Oh, that's a significant.
I started watching Justice League tonight before I power napped before our recording.
The Joss one, Justice League.
Yeah. But I only got like 20 minutes, half hour into it.
Why?
But it's like a tight 2 hours,
just to
right?
refresh
It's not
because
super
I
long.
have seen it. So to refresh my memory on how bad that one was, and of course, the first shot is the Superman Shrek shot.
The cell phone. Oh no. Oh
I
no.
was like, ugh.
That was
They were
like
just
when the
trying to
movie
set the
started.
bar
I
to
was
where
like,
they were starting,
because we heard about the mustache thing before
Mhm.
the movie came out. And
Is it that bad? Is
it?
it noticeable?
Oh my
Oh
god!
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's some of the worst CG I've ever seen in a modern movie.
And it was
But
weird
it's
that it was a mustache they edited out, but somehow they changed his whole chin. Like he looks.
Well, he had
So
stubble
different.
too.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, because his Mission Impossible, he had the full mustache and then like kind of a
That's
stubbly
right.
beard. But yeah, in my head, I was like, oh, I'm sure it won't be that bad. Like they made Thanos look like a real fucking person. I mean, it's possible to do good CG. And then the first shot of the movie, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Like this is not gonna be good.
Yeah, it's just I was shocked. I was like, oh fuck. And I forgot how bad it was until I watched it again.
Yeah.